What's up YouTube? David here from No Swag Media. If you saw my last video reviewing the Letterman jacket from Fleur, you would know that I am currently sick. And like I said in the last video, it seems that I am sick every time I go to make a video nowadays. But yeah, so please excuse the slightly nasally voice, but I did want to make this video as soon as I could because it is rather exciting news for me. So yeah, 3 days ago, I think it is now, I finally got the opportunity to speak with Tyler and meet him. For those of you who have been watching the channel for a long time, you know how long I've been waiting to be able to meet this man. I mean, I think the first golf wang related video I made was all the way back in 2014 on the pink bottom Vans that he did with golf wang. And I've known about Tyler, I believe, since somewhere around 2012, 2013. It's hard to exactly pinpoint the exact year that I found out about him, but I think it's around 2012, 2013. But ever since then, I've been listening to his music, watching all of his interviews, and buying a lot of his clothing and shoes and whatnot. Up to this point, I own probably well over 50 golf wang and golf fleur related items, and I've been making videos on them for a long time now. And Tyler in general has inspired me, as I know he has many other people, a whole bunch. For me personally, I was very inspired at a young age by Tyler's music videos, how out there and colorful and wild they were, and I think that's really what inspired me to dive more into music videos and, you know, film creation in general. And that's currently what I do to make most of my money, and it's what I'm going to school for right now, which I'm going to school for film right now. So I kind of owe that to him for sort of opening my eyes to that world, and also to clothing. I saw how he was able to grow golf wang, and it kind of inspired me to want to create some different clothing lines of my own. Up to this point, I've created 2. The one that I'm currently doing is called Ease of Mind Apparel. But yeah, I definitely probably wouldn't have got that inspiration to start those without him either. And then also just twiddling with music production as well. I think definitely watching the Cherry Bomb documentary and just seeing the evolution of his music over the years has really inspired me on that front as well, to just learn more about music production in general, as I am a drummer. Basically, you guys might have seen the video that I put on the channel 2 months ago, where it was kind of my first sort of interaction with Tyler that I ever had. Was 2 months ago. I purchased a piece of the Globetrotter luggage that he did with Golf Fleur. And basically it had a defect on it, and I tweeted at him about it, and he actually ended up seeing it and messaging me regarding it, and we chatted back and forth very briefly, and he ended up sending me a free bottle of the French Waltz fragrance. So that was really neat, and I was super excited about that. And I actually ended up making kind of a fake little mock commercial for the Globetrotter luggage, and I tried to send it his way, but I don't think he ever ended up seeing it. But yeah, let me dive more into the actual story of how I finally got the opportunity to meet him. So 3 days ago was his stop in Philly for the Call Me If You Get Lost tour. It was at the Fargo Center. That was my 5th time seeing him in concert, and technically the 6th time I've ever seen him in person, face to face. The first time would have actually been when I was seeing Pharrell and NERD at the Roots picnic way back in 2015 or 16. That was the first time I ever saw Tyler in person, and it was completely by surprise. He was actually just a few people in front of me on the other side of the barricade watching the show, and then he hopped on stage with Pharrell. So that was actually the first time I ever saw him in person. But then I went to the Lancaster, PA show on the Flower Boy tour, and then the second leg of the Flower Boy tour, I went to the show at the Leah Curris Center in Philly, and then I saw him do the first festival performance of of Igor at Gov Ball. That was probably my favorite performance I've ever seen him do, And then I did see him in Philly for the Igor tour at the Mann Center. And I do have a video on my experience at that show where I came within 5 minutes of meeting him, and basically everybody else I was with had the opportunity to meet him except for me and my one friend.
I met last time during the Igor.
Oh, it was in the back of that other place.
Yeah,
Yo,
really?
5 minutes before, like, you were gonna come out, me and David.
I got fucked up.
Yo, the next day, son, yo.
So that completely devastated me for a while, just that I was so close to finally being able to meet him and, you know, thank him for everything he's done for me. And I didn't get the opportunity to. I'll make sure to put that video up here if you're interested to hear that story. I did like a whole little podcast on that.
But yeah, I was like super like depressed and just in a slump for the next like 4 or 5 days. And then it slowly started to wear off, and now it's like I don't really like stress it anymore because I know I'll get the opportunity to see him again, and it'll be so many times that at least one time, and especially if I go with Johnny, I'm destined to meet him again.
But yeah, this time around he was at the Wells Fargo Center, which is a pretty big arena, and I think all of the venues on the Call Me If You Get Lost tour are arenas. And I knew back in 2019, or probably even honestly, probably shortly after Flower Boy, I knew with the amount of buzz that he was getting, it wasn't going to be long until he was almost exclusively playing festivals and arenas, which is pretty much what the case is now, except for maybe a few rare exceptions where he'll play a small venue for a special occasion. But, you know, as time went on, my chances of meeting him definitely got lower and lower, just because I felt like these big venues, you know, it's really hard to meet the artists at a lot of these just because they have more security and it's kind of, things are gated off a lot more.
Because it's not that hard. The only time it's really like pretty hard is if you're at an arena, like big arenas like the Wells Fargo Center in Philly.
But I had a little bit of hope going into this Wells Fargo show, only because my friend Johnny, who was with me at the 2019 show and who has met Tyler a few times, actually had success in meeting Childish Gambino at the Wells Fargo Center. So he kind of knew where to go potentially to meet the artist after the show. So, you know, we waited outside the show in the beginning. We had VIP passes. We were like number 1 and 2 in the door for VIP. The show overall was great. I would say Vince's set was probably my least favorite. It was my second time seeing him, and both times I've seen him, it just seems like he doesn't bring that much energy and doesn't really get the crowd going as much as you'd like him to. But Tizo was great. I actually caught Tizo's construction helmet that he threw out into the crowd, and Callie was great as well. Tyler's set was really cool, and it was amazing to see him just in front of this many people compared to, you know, the first show I saw him at, which was in like a maybe 500 person venue. But yeah, his set felt a little short, but that's probably because of the fact that he had so many openers. He probably had to keep his set pretty condensed. But yeah, after the show, me and a group of my friends, which was probably 10 to 15 of us, I would say, went back to that area outside of the venue that Johnny knew about. So we stood on the other side of that fence and pretty much just stared and waited to see if there was any sign of Tyler. And I would say it was about 45 minutes in. A lot of the people I was with were like, how much longer are we gonna wait? Like, I don't know, like, should we go get our cars? But me, I was like, I'm definitely not giving up this soon. I knew what happened at the 2019 show, so I was dead set on being here for a while, at least until my friend Johnny left. But yeah, it was probably around 45 minutes in that I saw Tyler's, I think it's safe to say at this point, his girlfriend, Rain. I saw her walking out, and then right behind her, I saw Tyler. I could tell by the hat he was wearing. So I was the first person to see him. I kind of just hollered at him, and then he saw us pretty quick, and within a few seconds I could see him, you know, running up the hill to greet us. And you know, overall I would say that the interaction was about as good as I could ever expect it to be. It felt like maybe, you know, he gave us maybe like 15 to 20 minutes of his time. Like, he really made it a point to go to every single person talk to them, listen to what they had to say, sign stuff. Not that many photos were taken, just because I think most of us just wanted to be able to talk to him and get the signature, and the photo was kind of an afterthought. As far as my interaction with him goes, I was able to get a few things across to him. First off, I just shook his hand. I was the first person to shake his hand, and I just said thank you for everything.
What's up?
Thank you for everything,
man. And then shortly after that, I kind of told him who I was, and that I was the person that had the Globetrotter luggage, and that he sent me the fragrance.
See, I bought the Globetrotter luggage, and I had the fucked up thing where you sent me French waltz.
Oh yeah.
It was fucked up. That was
I
really appreciate that, bro.
All good.
Shortly after that, I kind of wanted to show him the. I made the fake Globetrotter commercial thing kind of with the intention of him hopefully seeing it, but I don't think he saw it up to that point. So I got my phone out and I was like, hey dude, I made this.
It's for the Globetrotter luggage.
Oh shit. I think I fucked up.
I got you.
Oh, shit.
What
Okay. Bro, I don't know what the
Hold it up. I'm gonna just hold it up.
I also have huge hands up.
Bro's gonna grab his phone and accidentally switch on the horn.
If you took this down a snow hill, dude.
I thought you'd appreciate it.
You're going slow, but that's fire.
Yeah, I mean, I
Wow,
appreciate it.
that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate. Thank you for liking this stuff enough to do that, but I appreciate that because. Oh!
Where's my?
Wow, dumb bitch.
Welcome to Philly.
Does not make good decisions. I see people like something enough to make a thing for it.
No, yeah, I go to school for film. So.
And then shortly after that, I showed him my Igor tattoo on my arm.
Oh, that is wild.
I'm about to show you.
Sign below it.
Bro is legitimately a simp for you.
I'll show you a picture of it. It's currently still healing, but I did get it, his signature tatted below my Igor tat. Other than that, I mean, he talked to all of us about a few other things. I'm not gonna like get into everything, but overall, just like super nice, normal person. Didn't like play off like he was cooler than us or anything. Just down to earth guy. I commented to him, I was like, yo, do you have the Cartier Crash on right now? Because I could see it under his like jacket.
Yo, you got the Cartier Crash on right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
I had quite a bit of time to talk to him, and you know, I think I've spent a lot of time in the past kind of thinking like, okay, if I met Tyler, what would I say? Like, would I freeze up? Would I like be shaking? Would I not know what to do? And honestly, like, I think from just watching so many interviews and getting so familiar with him over the years, when I met him, it didn't even feel like that weird. It kind of felt like I was talking to somebody I already knew, and I actually like didn't really feel nervous at all, and I think I played it pretty cool, and everybody I was with was pretty cool about it too. Nobody was like flipping out or being corny, so I think the interaction overall went great, and I don't know, I'm just really happy to have finally met him, and I thought I'd share some of the experience and maybe a couple short clips from it with you guys, just because I feel like the channel has been building up to this point. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it, but it was kind of a big moment in my life, something that I've been waiting for a long time, even though it is just another human being. You know, when someone inspires you that much, it is pretty cool to be able to finally meet them face to face. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out some of my other videos on Tyler related content. You don't have to, I don't know. I am sick right now. I'm on the verge of coughing after every word I say, and this took me a few takes, so I'm just gonna go now. Okay, bye.
Okay, I'm leaving. Thank you
All right,
guys.
happy birthday!
Bye.
Y'all get safe.